Okay, fifth graders, here we are. We are working on Shemot. You guys started it last week when I wasn't there. But, we're all home together. Not together, but we're all at home at the same time. So we're going to do Shemot, part 1B. You did 1A with Yochi, and I'm sure you loved it. So what happened here, okay? This is like one of my favorite parts, along with the other ones. Because this is the part where this dude, we all know him as Pharaoh, comes to town, right? A new Pharaoh comes to town, and he acts like, or maybe he doesn't really know, excuse me, I'm over here. He acts like he doesn't know Joseph, right? So he's chilling here next to his very fancy pyramids, and he's like, never heard of them. Never heard
Mom?
Of what? I'm kidding. Of Joseph. But we all know that's not true, because Joseph was kind of a famous dude. He kind of saved all the Egyptians. And it was kind of one of those stories that people told over and over and over again back in the day. So people like Rashi think that maybe he knew who Joseph was, but he tried to convince himself that he didn't know who Joseph was. Why is that important? Because watch what he's about to do to Joseph's people, right? Okay, so there's this new king. He arose over Egypt. Verse 9, he said to his people, behold, the children of Israel are more numerous and stronger than we are. He's like, dude, look how many Jews there are. There's gazillions of them. Oy vey is mir. He didn't say oy vey because he was the Pharaoh. He said whatever they said back then. And the Jews were like, just doing my thing. Hello, I'm a Jew. Remember Joseph? And he's like, nope, never heard of him. And then, verse 10, Pharaoh's like, you know what? We need to get ready. We need to deal shrewdly with this dude. No, with these dudes, all these Jews, because there's so many of them. We could have more of them. There might be more of them coming. There could be a war, and guess what would happen if there's a war? They could join the other side. What if they could even start a war by themselves? They could join the other side. What is it, bad guys? They could join the bad guys. They could start their own war. Or they could just run away. Is that what we want? Is that what we want of all these people? There's so many Jews. They're evil. They're bad. They're yuck. I don't like them. So you know what he did? He appointed tax collectors. Well, that's not very nice. So these dudes came along. They looked a little bit like Pharaoh because, that was the style in the day. And they were like, give me your money. And they were like, but we don't really have any money. What are we supposed to do? I'm okay. Blah, blah, blah. And he's like, no, more money, more money. And so what they had to do was spend their time building storehouses for Pharaoh. Okay, we'll do it. You say to do it, we'll do it. We're nice guys. Okay, look, I even wear a kippah because, I remember the rules. You wear a kippah. And then, guess what? He's like, do this, do that. I'm making your life bad. Yeah, man, I'm the tax collector. And they're like, la, 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 la. Let's have more babies. There's more Jews, more Jews, more Jews. So many more Jews. And they got stronger. I don't think they really got physically stronger. Maybe they did from all this exercise. But I think what they meant was it got to be that there were so many Jews that people got worried that they were going to be too strong and maybe be able to start a war or something. So you know what they did? Well, obviously the thing you always do is when you see a group of people is getting too strong and too numerous in your country, the obvious thing to do is to enslave them. You know what I need to do? I need to turn their smiles into frowns. I need to make their lives miserable and sad. See, they're not so happy now. Not even sure if they have faces. So you know what he did? So the Pharaoh enslaved them with back-breaking labor, and he embittered their lives so that they were crying too. With all kinds of labor in the fields, all their work Lila, move out of the way. They worked hard with back-breaking labor. So here are the questions we have. Let's look at what this dude was doing here. All right, the Jews, they were just living. They were just living their best lives as best as they could. At first it was fine, and they started taxing them, then they started making them slaves. things got progressively worse. But before things got all the way to the slavery stuff, what did our old friend Pharaoh do? First of all, he declared, I never heard of Joseph, right? And then he also said, the people of the children of Israel. We used to call these guys Bnei Israel, right? The children of Israel. But he is the first one. This is, oh, look at that, it's a hot mess. This is the, it's just getting worse. Oh, okay. Wait. You can't have messy handwriting. There you go. This was the first guy who said they're not just Bnei Israel. They're not just the children of Israel. Let's make them sound scarier. Let's call them the nation of the children of Israel. That sounds more menacing, doesn't it? Oy vey. And then, you know what he also did? After he added the word nation that made them sound scary, he also said that the Jews could do 4 things that could be a problem for Egypt. What were the 4 things he said they could do? You can say it with me. I'll give you a hint. I'm going to point to them right there. He said they're going to multiply. There's going to be more of them. They might start a war. They could join the bad guys. Or they could just run away. Pharaoh said all those things. Did the Jews say anything like, hey guys, we're hating you. We don't like these extra taxes. We don't like being slaves. We don't want to do this. We're going to start a war. We're going to run away. No, they did none of that yet. Right? Instead, it was all just what Pharaoh was saying. My question is, what is this dude, the Pharaoh, what is he up to? What is he trying to do? Because I have a feeling that before this verse, our friends, the Egyptians, were still our friends. Remember, Joseph was a good guy. He saved a lot of lives. But then Pharaoh started saying all this stuff. Why do you think Pharaoh is saying all of these things? What is he trying to get started there? What is he up to? What's up, dude? I mean, really, he's being that guy. And your question that you need to answer is, what is he up to? Why do you think Pharaoh is doing all of this? You're going to respond in Google Classroom, and we are going to call it even like you did some work. Life is good. Stay tuned for more exciting adventures in Egypt. Whoa!